Daisy, please, we need to know... Oh, that's a naughty question. We need to know who kisses better, Sebastian or Paul. It's actually me. Let's check Twitter. Nobody told me Andrew Garfield and Daisy Edgar-Jones are in a series together. What? Yes, I filmed a series with Andrew in the summer of last year. We were in Calgary, Alberta for 5 months together. He's just brilliant. It was such a joy to film with him. Well, I actually didn't film any scenes with him because he's sort of investigating my characters. So we did do plenty of going to the cinema. There was these little neuron scooters that they had in Calgary. So we rode on scooters and hung out and went hiking in Banff. So yeah, he's such a great guy. Okay, but does Daisy Edgar-Jones even know what a crawdad is? I now do, like a little lobster thing. I think a crawdad is the same as a crawfish. I might be wrong there. I ate a lot of crawfish when I was filming in New Orleans. I went for a crawfish boil, I think that's what it's called, and I had a lot of crawfish. I don't know if they sing though. I think that might be a myth. Next, time to fact check Wikipedia. She grew up in Muswell Hill, London, and first acted in a school play in year 5. I mean, I think it was earlier than year 5, actually. I think it was in year 2 or year 3. We were learning about King Henry VIII and all his wives, and my teacher put on a play, and I played Anne Boleyn, who gets her head chopped off, so I had this fake head under my arm, and I had to storm in and was like, I cannot believe you chopped my head off. And I transformed. That's when I first was like, oh, this is quite fun, because I can be really sassy and not get told off. Are you watching without subscribing? IMDb. After filming Wrapped, Paul Mescal gave his character's signature chain necklace as a gift to Daisy Edgar-Jones. That is true, I do have the chain. Paul gave it to me as a wrap gift. He gave me a little framed picture of us, and then the chain was sort of attached to the back. And at the time I was like, oh, that's lovely, but I didn't realise obviously how significant that chain would become. Posted. Noah should not be able to walk, let alone dance and run with 1 or 2 buttocks removed. That is a good point, and one that I was also concerned about. Actually, if you look, I pull down my trousers when I'm going for a wee, and you can see a little like padded bit of cotton wool, and that was sort of to fill out the lack of butt cheek. I think the only thing that I sort of used to try and kind of justify it was that if you were in that situation, the amount of adrenaline that would be pumping through your system for the pain, that perhaps that's why she was able to dance. He also does give her a cushion for her bum, but you know, suspension of disbelief. Instagram. Dun, dun, dun. Alejandro_ASC. Daisy, I'm on my way to London and need some recommendations badly. What are your fave spots to eat and visit? I would just say just any pub, really. I'm at my happiest walking along the South Bank. If you get off at Borough Market, you can go and get like a sandwich. And then if you walk along the South Bank past the Globe and the National to Waterloo and then go to the theatre, it's the best. It's my favourite spot. I always like to go to like an Everyman, watch a film and get some, you can get like food brought to you, which I always think is very novel. Replied. YouTube. I can't believe they didn't post the whole thing. They sang together and all. We do end up singing a song together. Baby! We sing Tracy Chapman, Baby Can I Hold You, with Andrew Scott, and that was a very surreal day of filming. Posted! Why does Daisy say we all the time? We means little. I don't know, it can be used for many different purposes. My mum is Northern Irish and my dad's Scottish. That's a Northern Irish and Scottish thing. I say we, because it's sort of just, it's lovely. I don't know. Next. TikTok. Daisy, please, we need to know. Oh, that's a naughty question. We need to know who kisses better, Sebastian or Paul. I just simply cannot say. Both were lovely. Though with Sebastian, because we were filming during COVID, they gave us this like antibacterial mouthwash. It made sort of our mouths foam. That added a little extra something. Daisy, do you prefer Endless Summer Nights or Cool for the Summer? Oh yes, I heard about this. I mean, Endless Summer Nights is so brilliantly cheesy and 80s, so I do kind of love it. And I guess it works because she mentions cherries in the song, and obviously Noah loves cherries, so attention to detail. Even more Twitter. Rachel Brenner. Is there a mathematical equation for the number of photos of Daisy Edgar-Jones that I'm allowed to look at until I too think that I can pull off bangs? Asking for me. That's so kind. I'd never really sort of ever thought I could sort of pull them off myself. I didn't get a job and I was really sad about it, so I cut them in sort of like a breakup haircut, and then I got work after that, so I owe my entire career to my bangs. I would just say, you know, give it a go. I see the Marianne's Bangs account there, which I do follow. Not as famous as Connell's Chain, obviously. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that that sort of became such a thing, because we had sort of a large amount of discussion about Marianne's hair through the series, because she had to age from the age of like 17 to 22. We thought the fringe was a good way of sort of indicating her age, so we start off with this tiny little micro fringe, which I had to live with for 2.5 months, and then I got to grow it out. That's the only thing I would say as a warning to anyone cutting in bangs, is you don't wake up with them looking perfect. They wake up like that, and then you have to learn how to blow dry them properly. Daisy Edgar-Jones is so good at accents. Thought she was Irish from Normal People, then saw Fresh and was like, whoa, her American accent is so good. Then I watched an interview and she's British. That's very kind, thank you. So I'm actually from London. I've done quite a lot of my jobs tend to be in accents. I don't know why. I think I find it easier to act when I'm not speaking in my own voice because I get very shy. Replied. Hey Daisy, what was the last song you played on your playlist? So the last song I think I played on the way here was, I've been listening to Toro y Moi, I think that's how you pronounce it, Toro y Moi, and I was listening to Mirage. It's a very good song. At Daisy Edgar-Jones, what do you think about #NormalPeople series finale concerning Marianne and Connell? How can you explain they separate once again despite being incredibly in love with each other? Do you imagine they'll reunite after the year Connell studies in New York? The age-old question. I don't know. I think the ending is quite beautiful because it's probably very realistic to most young relationships. Like most young relationships nowadays don't really last. But I think what's kind of gorgeous is that they end in a very mature way, and I think they'll always be significant to each other. I don't know if they will get back together. I kind of imagine them sort of like growing older and like reuniting or bumping into each other when they've got their kids, and it being like a little, maybe something like that. But I don't know, maybe they will, I don't know. Okay, that's it. I'm signing off the internet.